The anticipation had been building for weeks as my friends and I planned our hiking trip to the mountains. We were eager for adventure, excited to immerse ourselves in nature and witness the beauty of meteor showers under the vast night sky. Little did we know, our journey would take a chilling turn into the unknown. Arriving at the forested mountain area, we unpacked our cars, greeted by a few locals who shared cautionary tales of the mountains. Their words lingered in the air, warning us to be wary of encounters with others, hinting at unsettling incidents involving tourists over the years. Undeterred by their warnings, we set off up the mountain, the lush greenery enveloping us as we ascended. The hike was challenging but invigorating, the scenery breathtaking as we pushed forward, eager to find the perfect spot to camp. Upon reaching a plateau with ample wind cover, we set up camp. The first night passed uneventfully, filled with laughter and camaraderie, as we stargazed and shared stories around the campfire. But as the second day dawned and evening approached, our journey took an unexpected turn. While exploring the deep forest, we stumbled upon a group of people. "Hey there, folks!" one of them called out cheerfully, their voices echoing through the trees. "Hi," I replied cautiously, exchanging uncertain glances with my friends. Excitement coursed through us as we ventured deeper into the forest, following the directions given to us by the strangers we had encountered earlier. Their offer to show us a prime spot to watch the meteor showers was too tempting to resist, despite the warning about locals performing a ritual nearby. "We'll just keep our distance, right?" Marcus suggested, his voice tinged with uncertainty as we trudged through the dense undergrowth. "Yeah, what's the worst that could happen?" Olivia chimed in, her tone laced with bravado. With adrenaline fueling our steps, we pressed on, the anticipation of the impending meteor shower driving us forward. The path grew narrower as we delved deeper into the forest. Finally, we stumbled upon a small passageway hidden within the side of a mountain wall. Excitement bubbled within us as we squeezed through the narrow opening, emerging onto a vast plateau surrounded by towering trees. It was breathtaking, the perfect vantage point to witness the meteor shower above us. As we settled in, the sky began to darken, the first twinkling stars emerging in night sky above. The air crackled with anticipation as we waited for the meteor shower to begin. We opened a few bottles of wine and cans of beer. But as the first streaks of light began to streak across the sky, a sense of unease washed over me. I couldn't shake the feeling that we were not alone. That unseen eyes watched us from the shadows of the forest. "Did you hear that?" Emma whispered, her voice barely audible over the rustling leaves. I strained my ears, listening intently, but all I could hear was the faint hum of the forest around us. "It's probably nothing," I reassured her, though doubt gnawed at the edges of my mind. And as the meteor shower reached its peak, illuminating the night sky with dazzling displays of light, I heard it in the distance, faint voices chanting like some local tribe from Jumanji. As the chanting grew louder and the flickering light of torches pierced the darkness, a sense of unease settled over us. The line of figures, adorned with tattoos and wearing creepy masks, approached the center of the plateau with purposeful strides. We stood frozen in shock, unable to tear our eyes away from the surreal scene unfolding before us. They're ignoring us," Marcus muttered, his voice barely above a whisper. I nodded, my heart pounding in my chest as I watched the strange procession. Despite the fear growing at the edges of my mind, a morbid curiosity compelled me to stay and observe. As the figures reached the center of the plateau, they formed a circle around a lone figure, their chanting reaching a crescendo. My breath caught in my throat as I realized the person in the center bore a striking resemblance to a tourist we had encountered earlier, the one the strangers had mentioned bringing into their midst. What are they doing?" Emma's voice trembled with fear as we huddled together, our eyes wide with disbelief. "I don't know, but it can't be good," Olivia whispered, her words barely audible over the din of the chanting. As we watched in horrified fascination, the figures began to move with purpose, their movements synchronized as they performed intricate gestures and incantations. The air crackled with energy, charged with an otherworldly power that sent shivers down my spine. Suddenly, Alex's voice broke through the tense silence, his words barely audible over the cacophony of sound. They brought someone into the circle," he whispered, his eyes wide with fear. As the chanting reached its peak, a chilling silence descended upon the plateau, sending shivers down my spine. But nothing could have prepared me for what happened next. In an instant, every voice fell silent. My heart pounded in my chest as I watched in horror as each figure started to turn their heads against us, looking directly at us. When the first figure took a step, I shouted, "Run!" my voice echoing through the silence as panic surged through my veins. Without hesitation, we bolted towards the passageway in the mountain wall, our feet pounding against the earth as we fled for our lives. Alex and William surged ahead. Emma and I followed close behind. But just as we reached the other side of the passageway, a gut-wrenching scream pierced the air. Olivia's voice echoed through the night, filled with terror and despair. "No, don't take me! Please don't!" she cried, her words echoing off the walls of the cavern. My heart lurched in my chest as I turned back, the fear gripping me like a vice. But there was no time to hesitate. We had to make a decision: go back and save Olivia, or flee into the safety of the night. In the end, there was no choice. We had to try and save our friend. With a shared glance, we turned back. But when we reached the clearing, Olivia was gone, and so was the mysterious figures. They disappeared into thin air, like they never existed. The only evidence of being there was a single torch burning dimly.